students, let's welcome back you to the classes after your summer vacation. I am hoping that you all are healthy and fresh and keen to start with your syllabus of geography. So the first topic which we are going to take is from part B, chapter 2, migration types, causes and consequences. So let's begin with the topic. Now migration, is movement involving translation of man and material. Especially we are doing here translation of man from one place to another. It's an integral part of redistribution of the time and space. And you all know that India started the census process under the British in 1881. In the decade of 1961, some changes were brought in. That is, for the first time, information regarding the place of birth and duration of residence was asked. Now, this is an important component of the migration studies. Then, in 1971, information regarding the place of the residence and duration was also added to the census data. And finally, in 1981, the information regarding the reasons for migration were added to the census information. Now, question arises that why do the enumerators or the planners or the census of India were so keen to add migration in the census data of India? As you all know, census is a very big and complex activity or procedure of counting of the population of any country, and especially a big country like India. So why they were so keen to add another aspect into it, another things into it, to make the questionnaire so more complex, or you can say cumbersome or big? The simple reason is that migration affects the demography of the population, not only the population but also the demography of an area, so such a extent that even the birth or the death rate can't do it. Birth rate and death rate can increase and decrease the number of the people living in an area, but the migration actually, it changes demography. That is the socio-culture aspect, in even the economic aspect of the area is changed by migration, and that is why migration was added into, slowly and gradually added into the census studies of India. And another aspect of migration's effect on the population or the demography of any area is that it is very quick and it is permanent. Now, moving forward, let's define migration. Now, migration is defined as to and fro movement of the people from the place of origin to the place of destination, depending on the various factors which changes the demography of both the places. That is, place of origin and place of destination both have an effect on their demography and the population. Some important terms which are associated with the definition of the migration, or you can say migration is first and foremost is to and fro movement. Now, to and fro movement basically is like a pendulum movement. It's a continuous movement. The flow of the people is not only from one place, that is from the place of origin. Let's say A is a place of origin of an X community, and the X community is only migrating or moving towards the B point. That is not the case. It definitely will be a case that the B will be moving to C, or even moving back to A. Community Y from B will be moving. So this is known as the to and from movement. Then the place of origin. The place of origin is something which simply defined can be defined as where something originates. Now, it must never be confused with the place of birth. Reason being, place of birth is defined as a place where the parents of the offspring, human offspring lives, and place of origin is different from place of birth because it can be anywhere, like it can be in maternal parents' house, or it can be in a nursing home, hospital, etc. So that is why place of origin is different from place of birth, and it is defined as where a place where something originates. Now, place of destination. A place of destination is defined as the place where the individual tends to reach, irrespective of its distance, the difficulty and the time taken to reach there, and even if it is socially and culturally alien or different to him. So this is actually the place of destination where people tend to take so much risk. For example, if we go back into history, let's go back to the history of 1960s of China. When Chinese cultural revolutions were starting to take place under Mao Zedong, lots of young people, lots of Chinese population, they braved cold South China Sea, where the sharks were also there, to migrate to the islands of the Hong Kong. Why? Because of, no doubt, they were social culturally different from the mainland China, but because that place of destination, that is the Hong Kong Islands, was actually giving them lots of opportunity to earn. Similarly, lots of people migrated from India even after independence. Though during pre-independence time, Indians were taken by the Britishers to work in various areas where they had made colonies like Sri Lanka, Caribbean islands, etc. But after independence, also majority of Indians tend to move towards the Western countries. They take risk. They take risk. They know that the things there are culturally, social, culturally very different from them. But why do they take risks? Because for a better living opportunities. So with this, the today's topic is over. In next topic, we are going to understand about the streams of the we are going to understand about the streams of, or the types of the migration, how migration is taken up in the census study of India, what aspects of this migration is taken in the census study of India, and what are the causes and consequences of the migration, which these we are going to do in further lectures. Thank you.